We're catching up with Broncos offensive coordinator Pat Shurmur after the first day of the draft. Coach, we heard that Jerry Jeudy was the number one wide receiver on your board. What do you like about him so much?
Well, he's an outstanding player, and certainly we were thrilled that he was available when we were picking. Behind the scenes, we did a bunch of mock drafts, and, we weren't all that certain he would be there. And so we were thrilled. He's obviously an outstanding player. He's won a lot of football games. He's played the wide receiver position at a high level in a conference and for a team that's excelled. And, so we're thrilled about that. He's a winner. But aside from that, he did a great job when he played in the slot. He can also play outside, so he sort of fits that player that we want to play opposite of Courtland Sutton. And so he was a fit for us, obviously, schematically, an outstanding player. And we certainly were very, very thrilled. There were a lot of smiles. I know they were remote smiles, but there were a lot of smiles amongst the Broncos coaches and players. I spoke to Drew briefly last night, and he was obviously thrilled as well. But we're excited to get him into the fold.
Jerry Jeudy, baby, let's go. Man, as a fellow SEC guy, I've been watching you make plays for years. I'm just happy you're on my team now, man. We got something special rolling here in Denver.
Coach, you've spent a lot of time with Nick Saban, Jerry Jeudy's head coach at Alabama. You played for him at Michigan State, right? Tell us about the program he's coming from.
Yeah, I obviously know Coach Saban and his wife, Tara. I know them very well. He was actually an assistant coach when I was a player. And then later on, when he was the head coach at Michigan State, I worked for him for 3 years. And so I know the guy that Jerry played for, and outstanding coach. Obviously, he's an outstanding recruiter, but more than anything, when he gets the players, he coaches them hard. He teaches them how to win, and he's obviously, one of the most outstanding college coaches of all time. So, I sort of know that this guy's been coached hard, but he's been coached in a way that's going to really translate to our game.
So many great wide receivers have come out of Alabama over the years. Calvin Ridley, Henry Ruggs last night, and Jerry Jeudy, of course. So it's kind of like wide receiver you.
Yeah, no, they're putting out wideouts, and they for a reason. These are outstanding players that have been coached well, and they make great pros. And so we're hopeful that it's going to be the same for Jerry.
Is it hard to evaluate the wide receiver position, especially someone like Jerry Jeudy, because he rarely gets pressed at the line of scrimmage?
Well, obviously in college, you look at the level of competition, and they're playing at the highest level there against a lot of the best teams and the best corners. And frequently when you're watching a wideout in the SEC, you're seeing him a couple games a year going against a corner that's going to probably be picked in the same round as he is. And so, you can't get a better evaluation than what you get down there. And obviously we saw him, perform at a high level against outstanding talent. Typically it's true, wide receivers in college don't get pressed or bumped as much as they will at this level. And so you have to do that research on all wideouts. But we were able to see everything we needed to see, and we're very, very confident that Jerry's going to have an outstanding pro career.
Now you have a lot of young weapons to work with here on the offensive side of the ball. How excited are you about all these guys? Courtland Sutton, Noah Fant, Philip Lindsay, added Melvin Gordon, Coach?
No, I'm thrilled. Obviously with what we did in free agency, added to a really talented young roster from last year's team, and now we add another piece like Jerry. It's very exciting. I'm used to working with young rosters. We had the same situation a year ago in New York. Those guys really developed, and I think they all have bright futures as they play further into their career. But I'm certainly looking forward to working with the guys we're working with here.
Coach, last one for you here. It's your first year in Denver. We've always heard that there's been such great communication between coaches and the personnel department. How have things gone so far for you?
Well, I've really enjoyed this process, obviously starting with the free agency piece and then working through the draft and, obviously evaluating the players it's been fun. All the great communication with Matt Russell and AJ Durso, Brian Stark, and John Elway's crew. It's been terrific. And then certainly the piece that we're most involved with the coaches, it kind of goes through Coach Fangio, and it's been terrific. I feel like we've all had a chance to evaluate all the players. We've had a chance to sort of weigh in as to what we think of the players, and then we're very fortunate that we have great decision makers at the top that understand what our roster needs are. And so I'm very thrilled about what happened last night, and we're certainly looking forward to the last 2 days of the draft here.
Well, we'll let you go because I know there's plenty of great players still left on the board. You can go get ready for round 2.
Sounds great. Looking forward to it.